Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin really, and an overview of the Bitcoin dominance. There's not really much to write home about that at all, so I'll make a few videos throughout the day about some other things rather than just Bitcoin. I mean, I made one last night about the strategy to basically make a killing a little bit further down the line this year with altcoins, specifically the small micro caps, but there is no place for micro caps right now. Definitely not. Definitely not. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. It's stealing the show again. We're not making brand new lows, but we're not looking particularly good. I mean, basically every day is a red day, and there is a chance that we get a green day probably maybe tomorrow or maybe even today after this next leg down, a next tick down. And I say a tick, I'm looking for a move down to around about 28,000 to find a first bounce from, but I think this trend is going to gain more strength. We've already got the death cross on the moving averages. We've also got a death cross about to be confirmed on the exponential moving averages, and they're the ones that I hold most relevance to. So people have already gone on about the death cross and this, that, and the other. And, today or tomorrow is the day that we might get that. But in my experience of what we normally get in golden crosses and in death crosses is basically a short hunt, where we basically have a massive big push up to liquidate all the people that get massive short entries. Now, talking about short entries, we're about to get two very strong signals to go short. So we know that this market can be tampered with to a large extent, and signals as obvious as these ones that are incoming, like I say, not confirmed yet, but probably will be confirmed tomorrow, might get played. They might get played. At the end of the day, we are at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. That in itself usually gets a little bit of a lift, and then we'll see how the if there is I don't know what you'd call it. Really, I would just call it a short hunt, really, to liquidate all those people that are taking up short positions from low levels like this, just based upon the death cross and the conversion baseline cross over here. So we've got two strong shorting signals, but we are at technically, more or less at support, really. More or less at support. Yesterday's candle close was all the way down here at 31,500. The lowest candle body since this is broken down. So the lowest candle body close since we broke down completely. So wicks are wicks, that's fine. Candle bodies do count for more in my opinion. And if we do go down, I expect to see probably one of those short hunts. So I know what this sounds like. I know what it sounds like. But I'm telling you now, I've been around in the market long enough to recognise, that sometimes you have to counter trade some of the more obvious signals that you see. Now, I'm not saying take a long position. I'm not saying that this is going to go up and to the moon. All I'm saying is that I would expect that shorts being taken at such an obvious place at such a low level are likely to get hurt, even though we're about to get some strong signals. Look, we can get these signals here confirmed, and we can have a massive bounce all the way up to the 200 exponential, about 40,500, and then continue with the downtrend. And that would be the appropriate place to take the shorts. You take them at resistance, not at support. So even though I expect a wick down to 28, maybe even a bit further, I would expect a relief rally, or probably I'm just going to call it this short hunt. So yeah, it's looking pretty bad. So death cross on exponentials, negative cross on the conversion baseline, so an actual short signal with a continuation of a trend from this level, from this signal anyway. This is what it means. It means we should continue down from this short signal until told otherwise. So who knows where that could take us? We're moving down here, negative cross on the MACD. RSI has broken its support trend formation here. The only thing that we got going for us, I suppose, is the money flow index, which is making slow and steady moves up, to suggest that there is still a lot of people buying at these levels. So you could still consider this, like I've been saying, as reaccumulation. Really, there is always that opportunity. And to be honest with you, we can reaccumulate here and still break down. An attempted reaccumulation at this level is perfectly appropriate, and this is why I bought up a lot of this zone here anyway, just in case. But if we do break down from here and we break down below 28,000, then I think it's probably best to wait to see where it settles. I'm not interested in catching knives. I'd be more interested in trying to buy into an accumulation zone like this once it gets established. This isn't an established range yet. This is a range which is strengthening to the down and is likely to break down I think, likely to break down. I mean, you can't really beat these indicators. They are what they are, and you have to respect them for what they are. Even though I'm saying let's be cautious about where we take any positions, if you decide to take any positions at all. Yeah, I'm not into shorting it at this level. I might be interested in a quick short if we were to bounce significantly high to an obvious area of specific resistance, but yeah, no, you're only asking for trouble down here. I'll show you why. I mean, similar to the correction we had in 2019, we had a massive correction here from a big bull rally, and we were consolidating for a long period of time. We were about to get a death cross here, and what we got instead was a massive 40% move to the up. So there are reasons to be skeptical about signals which are so obvious like this, especially when you're buying at support, or shorting, should I say, at support, not buying, shorting. Either way, the trend is strengthening to the down. There are signals about to be confirmed in the next 24, 48 hours to suggest continuous downtrend, but as far as an area where it should be resolved or bottom out, I couldn't tell you. There's no real way to say right now. Incrementally we'll keep going down, I would expect, and then in each increment I would be looking for a new buy zone. I think my next buy zone after the 28,000 is broken down and compromised is probably going to be around 23, around this level here. I'd be interested in picking it up around there, where we had some support around here before our next big launch pad up from the $20,000 zone. So I'd be interested in that zone next, and we'll wait and see what happens after the $28,000 is met. Whether we bounce from there, we reaccumulate from there. Again, this is the outside range of the inside range of reaccumulation. This is the inside range, this is the outside range. For the moment we're still within that range, so I can't say in all certainty that we are going to break down massively, but we do have some pretty nasty looking signals on the MACD, the exponentials, and on the Ichimoku cloud that all kind of point to one direction. But as I've already stated, sometimes things can be so obvious that the people who do have the upper hand in this market can utilize that very obvious situation to basically liquidate those of you who are too keen to try and make a quick buck and are not looking at the big picture. And the big picture for me is definitely one of several more months to years. I think I'll always own some Bitcoin. You know, there's no reason not to, and the idea is to try and accumulate as much of it as you can, take some profit obviously so you can enjoy your life, but yeah, it's kind of at this stage now, it's kind of getting a little bit too risky to not have some. Do you know what I mean? So there's always the long-term aspect of hodl for quite a sizable portion of my overall Bitcoin amount. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. No need to ramble. Live streams tomorrow, by the way. Wednesdays and Saturdays we do them now. And if you're interested in subscribing to those, the Patreon is how to do it. There's a link in the description below, along with all the other links for various exchanges that will give you kickbacks from your trading fees. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.